So we are here today for Monday Mints with the Puerto Rock study. Hold on a second. All right, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this again, everybody. Sorry, I got cut off a moment ago. Puerto Rock study presents Monday Mints. My name is Crazy Legs, and we have Audrey De Leon coming on here. We have Max coming on here, Mr. Mo and Yuri, and we're gonna be talking about all things related to PRS Fest and its direction with the NFT space as well as crypto. So I'm gonna be bringing in first the lady of the hour every time we're on, and she's gonna be rocking from the Puerto Rock study account. Her name is Audrey De Leon. So let's bring her in here right now. You get in here right now. We're good. Audrey, are you there? Yeah.
Yo, can you hear me?
Hi, Audrey. What's good? I see you got that Puerto Rico connection over there. Audrey? Okay, she's frozen. She's frozen. So while she's frozen, I'm gonna just bring in everyone else. How about that? All right, I'm gonna bring in Mr. Mo. And then I'll bring in Max. All right. Mighty Max. All right. I think Audrey is stuck. Mr. Mo.
Good, Legs.
Max.
Yes. What's up, Legs?
I'm good.
Mr. Mo, how are you, buddy?
Good, brother.
We're trying to get Audrey in here because she's on the Puerto Rico
Wi-Fi.
that Wi-Fi connection or whatever. I don't know. What's the Puerto Rico? Oh man,
I don't
even know who I pay my bill to. I completely forgot. All right.
I don't know their service.
Yeah.
But man, everybody, we're back
Monday. Bad.
Okay.
Bad service.
We're back Monday Mints. I think she's here. There she goes.
Hey, we made it.
Yes,
Aquí
yes,
reportando en vivo de Puerto Rico. Saludos, familia. What's up, everybody? Sorry to be late to the party. Here we all are. This is week 5, right?
Wow.
This is Monday Mints 5. We had a 1 week break in there to recalibrate. We have Mr. Mo with us. We have Max with us. We have Crazy Legs with us. And we are going to try to keep this about 45 minutes tonight. So I'm going to keep us rolling. But I just wanted to say thank you for joining us. And remember to check out your PRS NFT membership on OpenSea. If you haven't already, go to OpenSea, put in that in the search, PRS NFT membership, and get your wallet started. We are diving into a super exciting conversation tonight that even makes it more important to have some of these simple terminologies and to have a greater awareness of what's going on right now in the mainstream world and how quickly things are moving. So I'm going to let these guys jump in right off the bat with some of our topics, because Facebook and Instagram, let's start there, Mr. Mo. Facebook and Instagram are doing mass adoption of NFTs. What is that going to look like?
Yeah. So first, I hope everyone is doing well. Always happy to be here on Monday Mints, and
We're good.
That's your NFT list.
So let's jump right in. So we want to cover a lot of the stories of what's happening in the NFT space, blockchain space, and crypto space. So what's happening is Facebook, which is now known as Meta, confirms they're going to be rolling out an NFT across 100 countries. So this is a first step into mass adoption. So this is something that we need to pay attention to, because we're moving towards a very different world. We're moving towards a world of Web3, and companies like Meta are kind of opening and pushing that market forward, which I think is positive. But we want to make sure that as this world is unfolding, that we understand it and that we are a part of it and that we are not left behind. So
Absolutely.
it's important to understand a new technology, a new financial literacy also, because Web3 is about one thing, and that is digital property rights, being able to have a stake in the next version of the internet. So this is pretty big news right now for Meta, and I think what we'll see is this rollout is going to take place across 100 countries, and it's probably going to be used first as what we refer to as PFPs. So these are just NFTs that we use in profile pictures.
Profile pictures.
In
Yeah.
the long run, we'll see a lot more utility of NFTs for this. So super exciting time for NFTs.
And super exciting time for creators as well. Like if you create, if you're an artist, if you're a musician, if you're a choreographer, like there's so many emerging technologies and so many use cases for this technology that everybody should be like paying attention and be excited because things are moving really fast.
So
yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So how, culturally speaking, whether it's for the dance community, the salsa community, the hip hop community, what does something like Roblox mean to us as artists? And because I don't even know how to explain Roblox because I'm still new to this. So if you could help me out in the most dumbest way possible.
So
you gotta
Roblox,
dumb this down for me because I know there's someone else out there like me.
absolutely. Roblox is a game company, and you know they've been around for a while, and kids are super excited about that. They've been doing this for a while. But Mr. Mo, what does Roblox saying that they're getting involved with NFTs means to the whole space as well?
Yeah, so Roblox is an online gaming platform. So this is a place that you go and you play some games. Now, some of these games require you to buy virtual goods. So this is something that if you have children, you'll see them on Roblox and they're buying these virtual goods. Eventually, these virtual goods will be in the form of an NFT. And what that means is that you can buy a virtual good and you can sell it if you want, or you can take it with you. And this is about, again, the change from Web 2 to Web 3. But for Roblox, I think what the opportunity is, as it moves towards building its own metaverse. And as it's growing to build more experiences, right? When we think of games, we can think of like the Super Bowl. Well, the Super Bowl has entertainment in the center of it, right? Has the halftime shows. I think that's going to open up a whole new window of opportunities for artists to perform in these virtual environments, these metaverses, and for fans and followers to participate in some of these new experiences. So, but in the simplest way, Roblox is a gaming platform, and now we're just going to see a more mature version as we move towards the metaverse with NFTs, and they're moving in that direction. A lot of these companies are going to be moving in that direction. If you follow companies like GameStop, they're already adapting NFT marketplaces, and they're preparing for all of this. So I think it's gaming, you know, by far is the largest entertainment sector. It is much bigger than music and film combined. So there's over 3 billion people on Earth that play games, all different type of forms, from the Xbox all the way to mobile phone games, mobile apps. And now we're just going to see that in a decentralized ecosystem. So they're taking the first steps in that.
Mr. Mo, so I'm sure a lot of people don't understand the term decentralized and centralized. Can you explain what that means? What is a decentralized system, and centralized ecosystem?
That usually refers to the networks, right? So when we think of a network like Facebook, Facebook is centralized, right? It is a platform that is controlling the whole entire platform.
Experience.
Right? And at any moment, and some of us have been through this, where we do something on Facebook and we get kicked, right? We get deplatformed for a moment, or we go into timeout. And centralized platforms, I think, they do have a purpose, but I think moving forward, we're going to see more decentralized. And what that means is the control is not centralized, but it's decentralized across different networks, different computers, different systems. So it's spread out. It's the way it's controlled is a little bit different. And what it's going to do is it's going to make it harder for people to be censored, because that's what we don't want. We want free expression. We want to be able to express ideas and concepts, whether we agree with them or not. And decentralized kind of gets us there. So centralized are networks like Facebook, and decentralized are going to be networks like Sandbox. Sandbox is a metaverse. It's decentralized. So it's owned and controlled by everyone, not just a corporation that can deplatform you at any moment.
So do you think one will win out the other, or are we going to have both?
I think in the immediate future, we will have both. But in the long term, we'll probably have more of open metaverses or decentralized ecosystems, because they tend to be more secure. And there's some benefits to that, mainly that we want a world that is censorship resistant. Again, we want to be able to express and communicate all different type of things. So, we have to see how that will play out, but I feel confident that in the short term, both will exist. In the long term, open metaverses are going to win.
How does it how do you handle privacy in a decentralized? Because I know already how it's handled on a centralized system, but on a decentralized system, how do you handle information and privacy? Is that through Web3 applications and NFTs?
Yeah, so another way to think of it is the centralized systems control the end user, right? They control. The decentralized ecosystems, the end users are in control. So you give permission to what you want to give. You decide what privacy you want, whether you want it completely open or whether you want people just to know a few things. You will have your privacy control. The end user will decide what information they will share. And mainly because the data is what's valuable, right? If you look at Google, Facebook, and all the other big networks, the revenue that's generated is generated off the data. We create the data. We create the shared network effects. We make things go viral, but we don't see the value. The value is captured by the Facebooks of the world, and they make pretty much all of the revenue from that. In a decentralized ecosystem, right, the end user is in control of that. You can have an ownership. You can have a piece in something that you create, and you can capture that value. The end user can decide privacy controls. The end user can decide how they want their intellectual property, right? Music, art, film. They can decide how you interact with those pieces of IP, and that I think is what's really exciting, especially for creative people. Whether you're writing a story, whether you want to put a 90-minute dance show or choreography together, controlling your business, controlling your signal to the marketplace in these new spaces is, I think, the way forward for building creator economies. You create things, you can mint them using, you can publish them using like an NFT. NFT is a new form of publishing. It gives you that right, and you decide, you control it, and that's I think that's where the power is. Give the power to the end user.
I've heard people say like the new like, you know how like became a thing on social, is mint. So the new like is going to be the mint. What do you think
Yeah.
about that? I
Yeah.
think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, what connects everyone is not money, it's culture. Culture connects us. So if you're a sneakerhead, you're buying NFTs for sneakers. If you are into music, recently, Max, you shared, which by the way, I would love to hear an update on the Biggie NFT drop that you shared on a previous Monday Mint.
Yeah. It was exciting. It was like, so this is the first one that I've really like anticipate, like was waiting for it, you know, like, because Big was so legendary and he means so much to hip hop, right? So I wanted to get my hands on them. So I was able to get in early, and they sold out within 2 hours. They were gone, 3,000 and big NFTs, and it was a great experience. So what you get, like when you purchase an NFT, a big NFT, is first you get the artwork, which is pretty cool, right? And you get a piece of history. The first big NFT that was blessed by the family, like the family actually approached the company to do this. Like they wanted to do this. So the utility in it is that you get to have a vote on Big's freestyle. So they are releasing Big's Fulton Street freestyle as an acapella, right? So anybody could take that and remix it and do something with it, right? But it has to be approved by the 3,000 people that bought that NFT. So if somebody makes a proposal to, let's say, I'm gonna make this up, let's say Dr. Dre takes the freestyle and he remixes it and he puts Snoop on it. We have to approve that license by voting. Each NFT is worth one vote. So I think that's like a pretty cool, like, you know, to be part of something like that. But now the revenue of that also kicks back to the holders, and the holders decide again through their voting rights, right? Because there's a Discord that is specifically for the big NFT holders, and they get to vote on how that money is being used. So they could buy NFTs. It's almost like a DAO, Mr. Mo. They could buy NFTs, or they, I don't know if they could like pay themselves with it, but they have control of the treasury and what happens to it. And then the other thing you get from it is access to the Brook, which is a metaverse that's happening. It's supposed to be about Big's life, a whole metaverse experience. So those are the first two pieces of utility that are coming with it. But I think they're going to be rolling out more, and I was super excited about that. I think you know, I'm happy to have a big NFT. You know.
Right. So three things that NFT gives you. The first thing it gives you is access to that Biggie metaverse that they're creating, where there's a narrative that you can go into that metaverse and learn more. The second thing is royalty participation from whatever that generates in revenue. And then the third thing is voting rights, right? So the community can come together and vote whether they want to use that in a piece of film or a different application, a remix.
Right.
This is exciting because this to me tells me that this will be very disruptive to record companies, right? Artists now can go to a record company and sign a deal, or artists have the opportunity now to go to fan bases and have their fans participate in royalties, or even vote in terms of how that music can be licensed out to third parties. Maybe there's a company that wants to license that for a commercial. The community can come back and say, you know what? No, we don't want to put this in a commercial. We want to use it for something else. So I think the more utility, the more valuable it becomes.
Yeah, I think
you also can't be whacked then, or like, I mean, maybe if you have a whack fan base and you do something whack, then just because of your name, you'll just get some love. But
Yeah.
I mean, it almost seems like if you have true Biggie fans, there might be a quality control, and there might be a higher standard, and that would probably supersede any kind of marketing dollars. You know? So I think that's important.
Yeah, that's
the fans have the right, you know, are gonna choose, you know.
Hey, Joe Conzo has a question, and, and for those of you who don't know, Joe Conzo is a man who took the baby pictures of hip hop. He is the absolute first person to document hip hop with through photography. And I know I think his juices are flowing now, and I'm hoping that we can get him on. I'm gonna invite him. So I don't know who wants to drop out first.
I'll drop out. All right,
I'm gonna try. Be ready to jump back in because Joe's very old and he may have fallen asleep by now.
All right, let's go. Here we go.
So let's see. All right. Let's see if we can bring in Joe Conzo. And you know, I think when it comes to someone like Joe Conzo, hold on. I think it's important because he is someone who we absolutely should be making sure he has some real ownership. And I mean, he does own his stuff, but how the quality control and the ability to distribute his work, I think is super important. Now, if Joe Conzo will just accept the invite that I just sent him. Now, hey, oh, he got the shirt, Rocksteady. That's a limited edition right there. Rocksteady for life. Joe, my thing is, I know you've heard a lot about the NFT space. You have iconic photos, and you have the rights to those photos, which is also amazing. Now, and I'm just wondering, actually, if you have any questions in terms of how you can level up from your position with your archives.
So, peace and love to everybody out there. Thank you Legs for inviting me and the kind words.
Yeah, man.
So my question as a photographer who has thousands and thousands of images from hip hop, salseros to whatever, as a photographer, do I need permission from the artists that I'm shooting to create NFTs?
That's a great question. I am learning about photography and NFTs at the moment, and when you look at the way that you use photography today, you could use them different ways. You can use them in a book. So if you're using them in a book and it requires you to get permission from the artists, in my mind, I think it really depends on the circumstance. Whether you're using them to document, or whether you're a work for hire, right? Photographers are shooting for different reasons. So I think it's going to really be dependent on whether you were hired as a work for hire versus your own work and collection to preserve the culture, to share that narrative. But I think it's a question that the photography community is still trying to understand. And I think the way that I understand the law is that when you pick up that camera and you push that button, technically that picture, that intellectual property is your property first.
So I agree with you 100%. So I own the intellectual property to all my photographs.
Yeah.
There's that thin gray line when it comes to merchandising.
Yes.
So does NFTs fall into that merchandising category? Because from my perspective and my experience of over 40 years documenting the culture of hip hop, Legs, Kaz, you name it, Tito Puente, I mean, Eddie and Charlie Palmieri, everybody, I can use my photographs as I see fit because I own the intellectual properties to those images. But as soon as I put one of my photographs on a t-shirt, a roll of toilet paper, I legally need the artist's permission, because now I'm crossing into the merchandising world. I don't need their permission to do exhibitions, movies, documentaries, books, galleries, you name it. And this is where I'm stuck at when it comes to NFTs. And I've had this conversation with Legs for almost a year now.
Yeah. So here's the interesting thing about NFTs. NFTs are programmable assets. You can program them different ways. You can express them different ways. So you can express an NFT as a digital piece of art, right? As a digital photography piece. If you can sell a physical print, can you sell a digital print, right? That's one way. Another way could be taking a different approach and say, you know what? You're going to build a virtual museum to preserve the narrative, and you're going to issue NFTs for access as a subscription, the same way that you would in a museum.
Dope.
Okay? So it really depends on how you program the NFTs, and I think there's different ways to do that. And I also think there's different ways to create certain type of NFTs where you can see in the proceeds, but also you can create a different set that allow you to share, maybe if you wanted to, some of that with different artists or some of their organizations or their foundations. It's all about how you express the NFT. The NFT, remember, is what's happening is you're creating a token, and you're doing this by using what's referred to as a smart contract. So the easiest way to think of a smart contract is, think of like a vending machine for a moment. If you go to a vending machine, there's no human being there to facilitate that transaction. Already pre-programmed. All you're doing is you're selecting the letter and the number, and it's going to dispense a bottle of water that comes out. A smart contract is exactly that for the internet, for whatever you're programming your NFT, whether it's a digital picture. So maybe a vending machine for digital pictures is one application, or maybe it's easier to just say, you know what, I want to build this gallery or this museum, and I'd rather just make NFTs available so that people can access them. And so those are different ways that you can use those.
You're the first person that broke it down to me in a way that I'm like, Legs, I need his number so he can represent me right now.
Well, here's the thing. We can all work together. That's the thing.
Exactly.
I've been telling you. I already told Joe about you. I broke the pom-poms out. The way I brag about Joe, I brag about Mo. It's a Joe Mo thing, you know. So I don't know. I think there's also the idea that we could all collaborate and make that come to life, because at the end of the day, you know, we are here not only for the collaborations and pushing what we're pushing, but the idea of making sure that even like just so people know, sometimes we play dumb here, at least I do. And, you know, we prep ourselves for these calls. We know what we're going to discuss pretty much, but we want to present it as a way that the average person who is intimidated by this kind of conversation because of how language is used, acronyms, all those things. So, and we put those questions out there. So it's like, okay, well, this is how someone else would ask it. So it's actually how I would ask it, because I'm that curious. So let's give them that information. And Mo has been, thankfully, been learning how to, I guess, feed us little drips and drabs of like stuff that isn't too hard for us to comprehend.
Oh, you
and
need
make it an easier bridge. Like our whole idea is to bridge the digital divide between the Black and brown community, you know, and what's happening out there in the NFT space and crypto space. Especially for creatives.
Yeah, and that's really what it really is about. This is, Joe, when you think about this, this is about a renaissance for creative people that have, for many, many years and decades, have been on the wrong side because the royalties don't make their way back to the artists. They don't collect what's due to them for the intellectual property that they have. So smart contracts and tokens and NFTs are kind of a tool to help us, to gain that power back. And most importantly, number one, to control the narratives, to preserve culture, and also to participate in these new economies, right? Web3 and all the metaverses, they're going to be built on intellectual property. And right now, the purpose of Monday Mints is to begin to have that conversation as a community first, and also to just raise our game in understanding that this next chapter of the internet is a wonderful opportunity for our communities also to participate and empower one another. NFTs are just they're a powerful tool. If we know how to use them the right way, we can really elevate our communities. We can get a lot more people involved, and I think I think is where we need to be right now, because we need to be in control of our own IP. Again, music, film, photography, all of the different type of intellectual property. There's different ways to express this, and that fine line that you were referring to, where you have a tremendous amount of work that you've created, that you put, your life's work into. You should absolutely be in control of all of that. And NFTs and smart contract are the automation of the royalties will come from that. So, this is going to open the door for new business models as well. So, could you think of building a museum, 10 years ago? That was just like, wait a minute, no. Yeah. Now, today, you can absolutely build an entire museum that people can access, that they can participate, that if they see a photo of something that invokes them, that was part of their childhood, that is part of the soundtrack of their life, that they can hit a buy button and have a digital copy of that photo. That's important. That's important, because this is the way we're going to also make sure that we use NFTs as a store of culture. And that's important to understand. Using NFTs as a store of culture and this is where, everyone who's a fan, including myself, I'm a huge fan of your work, making sure that is preserved the right. And as the technology matures, also the NFTs can also have other type of utility, where you can actually give some voting rights to community members that that are going to do the right thing and preserve, the legacy that you've built.
I have a question. What if someone says, all right, Joe Conzo put out 100 NFTs and I came in at the bottom. I bought 75% of them. I'm the major stakeholder of it. I get to make all the decisions, don't I?
Well, that's if Joe chooses to give you those rights. Because right now he's just using the NFT to give access, but the rights he still controls and owns. Remember that the NFT is just a technology, but at the end of the day, it's the copyright and the trademarks that you use to enforce. Should there ever be an issue,
right.
Go to court and say, no, I can enforce the copyright, so there's really no issue. Just because you own an NFT or a digital print does not give you the right to own the intellectual property, unless Joe wants to express that and say. So I'll give you an example. Andy Warhol had a piece called 14 Electric Chairs. The estate decided to take that piece and fractionalize it. Instead of selling it to one person, it made 50% of it available to people that were in crypto. So they raised about, I think it was like $2.5 million from that, or if I'm not mistaken, I think it was $5 million that they raised from Ethereum. And today, that piece is worth over $50 million. So the estate has 51% of that. They have the controlling interest, and the other 59% are held by all the fractional owners of that piece. So those are some things you can do. You can say, you know what, I want to remain controlled, so I'll have 51%, but I'll make some available to people who love the art, who see value in it, and want to add that to their portfolio. Maybe they can't afford a $5 million painting, but maybe they can spend $5,000 to have a fractional ownership of that.
Wow. Wow. Mo, thank you for breaking this down in terms for, you know, somebody like me to understand. You should definitely write a book. And I mean, because you're the first person, and, you know, but thank you. And God willing, hopefully we'll expand on these Monday Mint talks, and Legs know I support him in everything that he does. So thank you. Thank you.
Hey, and you know what?
Again, we all appreciate your work, and you know that the collection, and I'm sure you have like a tremendous amount of stuff that a lot of people still haven't seen. So just the idea of you doing something like that is like super, super exciting. And so whichever way that we can help to continue this narrative, and again, this is about the education and Aaron sharing insights, problem solving together. This is a great time for community to come together and empower one another, empower creators that have been in the space, and the ones that are, you know, just starting out as well, to understand these concepts.
Let me throw something out there. Look, next year it's going to be the PRS Fest 10th anniversary, but it's also going to be the hip hop 50th anniversary. And if we're, you know, so for PRS Fest, and this is just new to everyone hearing this now, on the final day of PRS Fest, I want to do a hip hop 50th anniversary. And I'm just thinking, like, off the cuff over here, why not put a collection together of the Boricuas throughout the years, or Latinos who have contributed to hip hop, and there's an NFT gallery as part of PRS Fest, and that Joe Conzo curates.
I was just gonna say,
That would be
because
What?
I sat at the auction table at Art 60, and Joe, huge fan. You had one print, and there was a buyer, a woman who was interested, who sat at the table for 2 hours with her eye on the paper so that no one would outbid her, and she got it. And I remember thinking, next year we'll have to have this man's work everywhere in an NFT gallery that PRS puts on, so that more people can experience your work, because it was fantastic. And people, I mean, she waited there for 2 hours, and she won.
You know that, and just so you know, that money went to the Boys and Girls Club of Puerto Rico.
Awesome.
Yes.
That's
awesome.
What, Legs, this is a great example of adding utility to NFTs also with your intellectual property. You can say, I want 5 or 10% of these NFTs and the revenue that it generates to go through a cause of some kind that is close to your heart, something that, you know, that speaks to you. So, and this is something that can happen in perpetuity too. So giving it additional utility, which I think what it does is it creates more value, because it becomes social currency also. So every time there's a transaction for an NFT, someone wants to buy a digital print, or they buy a membership into your museum or gallery, whichever way you want to express that, it's empowering a social good cause. So I think NFTs are going to, you know, provide those opportunities and be able to kind of, find an equilibrium between creating a business and a revenue that can thrive, but also that it also gives back to social causes. And that's one of the things that, with the PRS Fest NFT, every time an NFT sells, it can empower someone that needs communication, needs to be connected to the internet, that we can, achieve the objective of closing the digital divide, making sure that people in our community are are always connected. They're participating in these new economies, and I think that's just a wonderful that's a wonderful component to it.
It is, and count me in right now. I'm putting it out there into the earth.
Awesome.
Up, I'm down. Again, Porter Rocksteady was started because of giving back, and that's what Legs has always done as long as I've known him, and that's why we get along so much, because we give so much of ourselves for others. And just the idea of creating something for next year to mark the 10th anniversary of PRS, and the hip hop culture that we all love, and to create this digital platform, whether it's a museum or gallery or whatever, and to use the word perpetuity, which I hate, but use it to my advantage and to share is just phenomenal. So I'm putting it out there. Sign me up.
Sounds good. We're definitely that's going to be a conversation right after we all get off of this call in a few minutes. So
maybe not tonight, but tomorrow.
No. No, I'm talking about with the team.
Oh, okay.
And that it's all good. We got you.
I got to run. So
all right, bro. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
All right, we're gonna bring in Max again.
Take care, Joe.
Peace.
All right, that was amazing.
Amazing.
And we have a new element of PRS Fest for next year, built around celebrating Latino contributors to hip hop by using the photos of Joe Conzo. And who knows, maybe there's some other photos there by other photographers that we can incorporate. But I think it's important that, Joe Conzo being Puerto Rican as well, that it makes a lot of sense. So, let me bring in Max again. There you go. Oh, were we supposed to bring in Yuri?
No, I think on a call, but here's Max.
Okay.
Hey guys, that was really cool. That was awesome, man.
Oh.
And Mr. Mo, great advice with the metaverse about the art gallery, because he may have some issues. Joe Conzo may have some issues with some artists, coming at him. So to come up with that idea on the drop where, create your own NFT and give them access to your museum, that was brilliant. Awesome. But I have I have an idea as well. What about if he made the artist part of the smart contract?
Yeah, that too. So
fair.
What we were discussing is that he has the option of using it in different ways. So he can create photos where people can gain access to them and follow the narratives, right? That he was able to document and be a part of, but also that he can reach artists to say, I'm going to have another set of collections that they can participate if they want, and if they can come to an agreement on, on how that works and the splits works. And absolutely, I think it's in the artist's interest to have that conversation and just to find an equilibrium that both of them are comfortable with. But in my mind, it's like both of them can go and get a bag.
Absolutely. Yeah, man. Yeah, and you know what? I didn't know. I knew it was 10 years for PRS, but I didn't know the 50th anniversary of hip hop is next year as well. So that's going to be a dope idea, Legs, to kind of do something that celebrates that as well.
Yep.
Awesome.
Sounds
This was
good.
a nice one. This was a good Monday Mints, y'all.
Yeah, man. We had a legend. You know, I mean, when you're talking about Joe Conzo, you are talking about the absolute first photographer in the game of hip hop. And I'm actually really glad that the first legend of hip hop to join this discussion is Puerto Rican. You know, he's Latino, and he comes from the hip hop world. So we gotta salute Joe Conzo for being our first. You know, so yeah, it's really dope. So yeah, this is Monday Mints. And you know, we're here to discuss NFTs and culture, whether it be hip hop, salsa, whatever, and how creatives can use that to their advantage. And oh man, Sando, yo, see, all right, this guy Sando just got on, and he's a big influencer, man, and he's somebody he's Latino, he has a major following, and I mean, Sando, as our last person, if you have a question on how you could level up with what you do in the NFT space, I think you should jump on. Send a request to join, and we'll get you in here because he's doing amazing work. This guy is so active, but I don't know if he's looking to monetize more, if he monetizes enough, but I'm gonna bring him in. Hey, okay, Max, we're gonna have to bring you out again, okay? I'm gonna try. All right, let's bring this guy in. Let me see. Sando. I'm gonna try to get him in. There we go. He's a really good brother, man. Super humble, nice person. He's a b-boy, but he does a lot of dances to like reggaeton, you know. So he's all up in that space. Hopefully he can join us. I don't know if he's too busy. If I caught him off guard, I sent him an invite. But I'm really curious how. Hey, what's up, my brother?
What's up, guys?
And he's the next generation. You know what I mean? He's the now generation, actually. So yeah, so what we've been talking about, Salo, is how creatives are utilizing NFTs and so to empower themselves. So if you have any questions, my man, Mr. Mo, is a wealth of information. If you want to take advantage of it right now, please.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of people talk about the NFTs and how it works. And I thought it was like, because we talked about it, me and Legs, we were talking about how wouldn't we just be able to take a screenshot and it'll be the same thing? But then Legs was telling me how that's not possible because then it's not going to be. He said something like it's not going to be the same thing as you're going to have like the legit, actual NFT.
Yeah, so this is referred to as the right click and save, right? So you have an image, you right click and save, and now I have it. But this is like making the argument that if you record a song off streaming platforms or off the radio, that you own it. And the truth is you don't own it. You may have a copy of it, but you don't own it. In other words, you don't get the royalties from that.
Yeah. So I kind of figured that's what it was.
So that's the difference. You may have a copy of it, but you will, being that you don't own the NFT, you will not receive any royalties.
Right.
And that's the differentiation. That's how you differentiate. So it's not a copy protection technology. Anything could be copied, yes. But what we want to be able to do is verify and authenticate that you are the owner, creator, the artist of whatever it is that you're expressing. Right. And when you make an NFT available, I know it's coming from you. I can verify that. And when I purchase that, I can hold it. Or if I choose to resell that NFT, you will also participate in a transaction where you will receive a royalty, right? So if you're creative, this is how you will make your living off of royalties. When you do that in the physical, if someone buys something physical from you and they resell it, you don't participate in that.
Right.
NFT, you do participate in that because you are the creator of that smart contract. Again, this is you building your own vending machine for your own pieces. And it's an automated process that anybody that values your intellectual property can buy directly from your collection, and you're always seeing the revenue come in from that.
So let me ask you this. So he does, so anyway, with what he does, he posts all these short videos on TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people following him, and he does it very often. So I'm thinking, like, for instance, let's say he created a trend, a dance move, a short routine. He could take that original video, right, that he first did that routine with, and and he could actually create an time of the new video. Oh man, did I just lose these people?
Yep.
Oh,
Did
you catch what I said?
Just for a moment, recap real quick.
An NFT. Oh man, this is making me crazy. So I'm gonna go with it. Anyway, he could probably launch an NFT at the same time that he launches a TikTok video, and as that, and people can be part of owning that moment of when he created it as something, that they I guess you could take it from there, Mo.
Yeah, that's a great point, Leg. So, and this is what's happening with TikTok and Instagram and Facebook. They know that people are going to create content, and that content can be programmed that other people can interact with that. They can say, for a moment, we wanted to do a 60-second dance for the purpose of raising money for a social cause, right? We want to help to provide relief for cancer patients, as an example. The NFT collection is created. The people that buy that NFT are participating in that, and that revenue can come in, and you're raising money, and you're using that for a cause, or if you're just using it for your own collection. So that's the direction that we're moving in. That's what TikTok is planning. That's what Instagram is planning, and Facebook. We're moving in that direction, and it's just going to allow you to have a little bit more control, and more importantly, it's allowing you to capture more value, because the way it works now is you don't really see the value of that. Most of that it goes to the TikToks and to the Facebooks and Instagram. So NFTs allow you to capture that value.
Right.
So he have a whole, like we were talking about Roblox earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So on Roblox, he could basically tie all that into TikTok, the NFT, and say, okay, well, you know what? On Roblox, you could also get my whole purple collection of clothing, because he's known for wearing all the purple clothing items. So I feel like I'm brainstorming right now, but is that something he could do?
Yeah. So let's take this as an example, and here's what I'm seeing as a trend. You're going to create a virtual wear that is made available as an augmented reality filter on Instagram or Snapchat, and anybody can wear your outfit, and all they have to do is purchase that NFT to gain that filter.
I get it, yeah. Okay, so that makes sense, because what you were saying earlier about a video, or what Legs was saying about creating a trend with the video or whatever, when I upload it, wouldn't it be the same of having them download the video? Because a lot of people download my videos, and I've been noticing everybody's like, there's a lot of accounts that has a lot of subscribers on YouTube, and they download videos and they post them on there. I mean, that's been going on for years, but I just noticed that a lot, and yeah, I think it kind of like loses value whenever it comes to like someone just downloading the video. But yeah, I get you now with the NFT. Now it's like a special thing, because they can get the video, and now they can have this special thing on there.
Yeah,
So,
you can give it additional utility. You can say, if you purchase this NFT, you get the AR filter, but
Okay,
you
yeah.
also get access to like a Discord or
Yeah.
any of a platform that you want to use. Or if you're at an event,
Right.
get access to a meet and greet of some kind.
Right.
Or you can create something where you give them rights to remix it or to
Yeah.
change.
Yeah, I get it now. Now it makes sense. What happened with Legs? His life is like.
A little
Yeah,
Oh,
I think
I'm messed up, really?
Yeah,
you
like
back from the Matrix.
bit.
but yeah, no, I get the difference now.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
I was just stuck on having, yeah, like the someone taking a screenshot. Wouldn't it be the same? But now it's a little bit more like it's like more like an exclusive thing.
Yeah, it's a way to verify that it's coming
Right.
from you, and being that the NFT was created using a smart contract. The smart contract has a wallet, has your wallet address,
Right.
and anybody that interacts with that is, you're always going to see, anytime there's an NFT being sold, you should be the one to collect from that. It shouldn't be a company that's taking 99% of your revenue.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, I'm interested in it. I just have to like figure out and talk to Legs about some,
Yeah,
ways
we'll
on
talk
how
later. Yeah, and we'll all connect, Mo. You know, he's an amazing young brother, man. He's super talented, man. But yeah, all right.
Thank
Well, this is the end of our session right now. So thank you, Sandro. I appreciate you, man. And hit me up mañana, okay?
Yeah, thank you,
All right.
Mo, and
That's
I would
Audrey.
say Audrey.
Nice to meet
Yes.
you.
Nice to meet you. Legs, thank you for having me on.
All right, bro.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for the questions.
All right, thanks, man.
All right,
Have a
peace.
good one, guys.
Yes.
This has been an amazing conversation. We are almost at an hour. So
Yes.
I just want to encourage everybody to join us on Discord, join us on Twitter. We're going to be having some midweek conversations just to keep this going over on Twitter with Yuri, who some of you may remember from our last mint. And it's gonna stay exciting, and it's gonna keep building. So we didn't even get to cover all the points that we had for tonight, but we will definitely keep those in our conversations in midweek. Please remember to share this live and invite people. This is free knowledge and education that we are just grateful and happy to share and to keep ahead in this early conversation. So thank you everybody for following this conversation. Thank you, Mr. Mo, for your expertise. Thank you, Legs, for creating this space and holding space for all of us to just connect and learn.
Yes.
This
And
is
shout out to Max and Yuri.
yes.
Yes. All right, everybody. So until next Monday, thank you. And we're going to post this. And remember, there is a PRS Fest membership NFT. If you go on OpenSea and you put PRS Fest membership, you can purchase a membership and, catch it before Ethereum goes up too much, because then you're going to be like, oh, it's too expensive now. And we also do a lot. There's a lot of social give back. We provide people with digital devices in Puerto Rico who are in need of forms of communication, access to Wi-Fi, et cetera, and they all come from vulnerable communities. So you would also be contributing to the leveling up of our people.
Yes.
So thank you very much. I appreciate everyone. I'll talk to you later. Peace.
All right. Take care, guys. Peace.